sunk an enemy destroyer.
Team, this is Ripper here. You guys are doing fantastic today. I got a fun video with the Z-52 and also a little bit of spotting from the Z-57 in the next video we're going to do. But yeah, we're going to take a look at how Z-52 is holding up these days at Tier 10 and also take a look at the new super ship of Z-52, the Z-57. And just, again, I'm not a really contributor or, a content CC and the World Warship, so I don't get access to the Z-57. However, we can, since we're not under an NDA, we can take a look at it and discuss it. But as always, before we begin, like, subscribe, bell button below. Appreciate all the supporters of the channel. And if you like what we're doing here, help us out by spreading the word, spread the channel, leave a comment, whatever you can do to help the algorithms work together so we can make this a better place and talk about more sailing ships, shooting ships, and having fun at the same time, all while making friends. And I can't thank you guys enough for you've been saying hello out there and being very friendly and making this a good environment to play, have fun, and just share ideas as always. So let's get right to it. Z-52, one of my favorite destroyers in the line. And really, how is it holding up these days? I honestly think it is kind of like adapting to the meta in the sense that before we could go rush into caps and use the 6-kilometer hydro to kind of perma-spot something and kind of cap contest. I still think that it can survive that meta right now, but you got to be a little bit more, I would say, passive-aggressive in the sense of not rushing to your death and kind of gauging the battlefield environment to figure out what is actually the threat out there and before you start rushing into your death. So as always, we talk about tactics, techniques, procedures, how to be good destroyer mains in this game, and just some of the observations I've seen from other players or just experiences from playing the game. Notice this game is a little non-standard. We have 3, 6, 9 players today because it's probably in the middle of the night. There wasn't many matchmaking and not many players online, so I kind of had these weird random games where just 9 versus 9, right? But like right off the bat, we have somebody spotting us, which is amazing since we have a 6.1 detection, but then a 6-kilometer hydro. So as soon as someone spots us, boom, right there we pop the hydro and it perma spots. And I think hydro is kind of almost busted at 6-kilometer range, and now with the Z-57 out to 7, where you just permanently spot dudes in the smoke. So having smoke is literally irrelevant because it's just like a kind of a long-lasting radar, if you want to call it that. We also get radared ourselves, so we got to run. Notice that the first thing I notice is I see a Fletcher, I immediately think of, oh, dude, he's launching torpedoes at me. So don't sit in smoke. Smoke are torp magnets. So you can see right there, tactic is to fire, wait at least no longer than 10 seconds and get out of there, out of dodge. It's rather you save your ship than, live to fight another day kind of mentality. And also, we're being radared by a Buffalo, so being in smoke wouldn't have mattered anyways. Meanwhile, we're trying to get away and break contact with the Buffalo, and good thing his radar went away. So now, as you can see right there, this is why I have the mod up, Radar Threat Buffalo. It even tells me 10-kilometer radar. So always good to have tools that'll give you situational awareness, especially if on the minimap. And check out my mod about Aslane's mod. It shows me on the minimap what is the threat radar ring of the Buffalo. I'm in the Air Force. We always talk about threat rings. When we do surface-to-air threats, we do suppression of enemy air defenses. We have to lay out all these things to visually just so we can see them. So I'm so used to seeing a lot of these graphs, tactics, and so forth on maps so that you can see where the threats are. All right, we're right back to the action there. Fletcher running away from us. Unfortunately, he cannot break our visibility of him, and look, we're getting great hits on him right now with the 128 millimeter guns, which I really love. There's our first splash one of the day. The reason why I like the Z-52 so much is the guns. This 128 millimeter guns that do 1,500 damage, not the greatest velocity, 830 meters per second. However, they pen 32 mil armor plating, which is kind of the base level of armor for most battleships and cruisers. And you can tell right there, most of my shells will penetrate that 32 mil armor plating. And that's what the bulk and makeup of bows, sterns, and armor platings of most battleships and cruiser out there are kind of, they start right at that base level. So if you can pen 32 mil and up, you're doing great. So as a destroyer, having that capability really adds a lot of effectiveness to your ability to go in and contest and destroy caps. The other thing I don't like about it is, or I'm sorry, the thing I like about it is the fire chance, 7%. It's pretty good. Range is good. The reload, I wish it would be a little bit better. If I want to get below 3 seconds to make this a little bit more fun, however, we can still make this work. Let's see what else. 830 meters per second is not the fastest velocity of shells. As you can see in my previous videos, I've always liked shell velocities of at least 900 meters per second and above. It breaks that air surface, or I'm sorry, the air barrier or slowdown mechanism in the game. I can't think of what it's called right now. The air resistance, whatever you want to call it. The 900 and above, it feels so much more comfortable to me. It flies through there a lot better, and the wind resistance doesn't slow it down as good. Things like Druid, Elbing, things of those fast caliber guns are really, really awesome. Anyways, let's get right back to it. The action here. Buffalo is also radaring us again. I have no idea where he's at, so the mod doesn't work if I don't see the threat. So if I don't know where Buffalo's at, the system doesn't know where to tell me the ring is at. So that's why I can't see where the radar is showing on the minimap, and I know it's active right now. So right now we're focusing on being shot at the Illinois. I'm going to have to get out of dodge. See, all these shells are firing, but notice the power of the torpedoes. Torpedoes on 10.5 kilometer range, but look at this. It has a very nice spread. They're hard to detect sometimes, and look at all that damage right there. Very, very impactful, and they can be very, very powerful. 69 knots, 7.6 second reaction time, 14,400 damage. So very, very strong torpedoes, and I like them a lot. They reload pretty quick as well. There is a legendary mod upgrade for the Z-52 to focus on torpedoes. However, I don't find that it's worth it. I still think the bread and butter of the Z-52 is the guns, because again, the torpedoes only go out to 10.5. Is it bad? Not necessarily. 10.5 is not good, but it's not like really all that powerful either. I like torpedo ranges out to 13.5 minimum, like the Yuyangs, the Gdansk, not Gdansk, sorry. There's another torpedo destroyer that goes out to 13.5. I can't think of it right now, but having those ranges to go out to the 13.5 kilometer range to 16.5, like the gearing, that's where your bread and butter is. Because with the advent of hydro and radar and everything, you can't get in close enough with 10.5, in my personal opinion, to really become that effective with torpedoes. They're kind of at anything with 10 kilometer torpedoes is pretty much there to just ward off a battleship rush that's rushing you or whatnot. Because again, you still have the threat of radar and hydro. You can't be in that close anyways to mitigate enough damage. Okay, Lepanto shoots down Illinois after our massive torpedo strike on him, and that is very, very strong and powerful right there. So what are we doing as a good destroyer player? Now, we can't rush toward that in the Bravo. Bravo is too far away for us right now. We still don't know where that Buffalo is, because that radar can really make your day go really bad for a destroyer. So you got to really just kind of reevaluate, reassess. It looks like we're going to win the eastern flank here. Bravo team will eventually slow, but we got to take down the threat. Here's the Buffalo. We have to take down the radar threat as a destroyer player. That's kind of how I work my way up. Kill the destroyers, kill the radar cruisers, and that's soften up the battlefield for you so you can actually move in and take out other players right there. What happened there? The Plymouth sank somebody. That was weird. The Plymouth got... Oh, maybe that was a... Back in the day, you used to be punished for that, but it says Plymouth died by shooting the other Plymouth. Oh, wow. I didn't know that could happen. That's interesting. Z-52 then takes out... Oh, I just took him out with my torpedoes. Wow. Splash 2 then. Man, I was paying attention to other things right there, but you know what? We got a nice torpedo hit right along there. But yeah, the other Plymouth, that was weird. The other Plymouth got blown up by probably doing something bad, and then he forced Buffalo in a bad position. So that's funny. But there's probably a lot of friendly fire or something going on right there. I guess the game kills you if you do something stupid like that. I remember back in the day when, shooting at each other would cause you to have a penalty, or when torpedoes actually, there was friendly fire back in the day, if you guys remember from a long, long time ago. That was really funny when you had like Shimikazes torping and then just killing half their team because there were so many torpedoes in the water. It was so funny. But yeah, I guess that mechanic is somewhat in the game if you just do too much friendly fire, that eventually does just kick you out of the game. So yeah, it is what it is. All right, here we go. We're going to start shooting at the Izumo right here. Notice this is how I shoot. I fire one in front of the marker right here, this line right here, the predictive marker. I fire one in front and one in behind, because I want to see if the guy speeds up, he'll hit one set. If he slows down, he'll hit the other set. So let's see how this actually plays out. GK is off to our north. It looks like we've won 3 of the casts with the Venom rushing to Charlie, so we really don't have to push too hard here. At this point, it's just playing for fun. And now we're going to switch to AP. I want to show you also the power of German AP, also a very powerful 3,000 damage right there, 128 mil pin. So Let's see how this goes. Man, holy crap. I mean, look at that. 2,100, 3,000 damage. The AP is nothing to gawk at. German AP was told to me that it is very, very powerful, especially against broadside battleships, cruisers, and ooh, we get a nice torpedo. Again, I'm telling you, the torpedoes, don't overlook them in a German destroyer. They are darn powerful. Notice that we're getting lower damage now because one is because the armor has been fully saturated now, I believe, and now pretty much that module is just not producing them as much. The maximum damage is probably around the 1,400 range, 1,900 range. So right now we're just getting only the right enough pin just to kill him right there. Splash 3 right there, 135,000 damage, and that is the power. Now here's the power of German torpedoes, and I'm telling you, the 10-kilometer torpedo is in this situation here. We have a battleship that's rushing in that's less than 10 kilometers. This is where those torpedoes are coming in to really just kind of ward off this German, or sorry, not the German battleships, but any battleship pushing into like this. I got to run away from a GK because he has 6-kilometer hydro, so this is why we cannot sit and smoke like this, and we're going to launch these torpedoes on the left and right of the predictive reticle. And right there, if he turns left or turns right, he'll eat a bulk of them. Right now, you can see he's turning to his right, our left, and he'll probably run into one of those torpedoes on this left side. That's why I do both sides right there. Yeah, his hydro is probably down. He's within 5.8, but the game is pretty much over. He's the last guy, so we're going to elect to shoot. But look at the power of how fun the German line is, and there he eats one at least right there, and the power of the torpedoes right there, so darn powerful. We get a lot of torpedo hits this game. I'm very surprised. 8 torpedo hits, my goodness, starting a lot of fires. And again, that armor is just not holding up to that 30 mil shots, even though we're shooting superstructure. I think he's baked in 50 mil armor plating along the mid sections here. So 30 mil pen, we're getting these non-pens right here, so you can see that, yeah, 32 mil pen is the base, but some battleships like the GK or something higher have that 50 mil armor plating. That doesn't allow you to take those full pens, but hey, it's still good on superstructure and very darn powerful. I was surprised. 158,000 damage in a Z-52. Very good with the torpedo damages. My gosh. 3 kills, a lot of fires, floodings, and also we cap contested. The Z-52 teams, very good at contesting caps, and that is the bread and butter of Destroyer. You're there to contest the caps. Number 1 in the team for the amount of power, 22 base XP right there. And look, wow, torpedoes were really showing off today, and they're very good gun damage, and we did a lot of fire spotting, 90, and about almost to that near 1 million potential damage being annoying, okay? But let's take a look at the Z-57 now and how it compares to the Z-52. We're not going to be in it, but we're going to be in the Halland, so you can kind of take a look at how working with a Z-57 is kind of in the next game right here. All right, let's take a look at the Z-57 with, we're going to be behind the Halland, but we had a good game in it, so we'll take a look at that as well. But Z-57, look at the stats right there. 23,000 hit points, 12.8 kilometer battery. Torpedoes go up to 12. Not bad. And speed is 41 knots, and the detection is 6.5, so that's great because it has a 7-kilometer hydro. Darn freaking powerful, okay? So let's take a look at, while we're, in the background footage there, we have the Halland. We have the Z-57 in the center. We'll take a look. We'll be closer to him so you can kind of see how the gameplay is with Z-57 from a different perspective of another player. Right there's the Z-57 right there, Z-57. I'm actually kind of excited to actually play it. It's basically the continuation of the Z-52 line. It would be if the super ship would be of that line, and tier 11. So let's read a little bit about it. A large destroyer featuring powerful artillery, type 1945, was one of the final unreleased designs developed by the construction department of the Kriegsmarine. Unlike previous projects, the ship was designed to utilize a turbine power plant instead of a diesel one. Armed with a cutting-edge artillery system over time, the destroyer was intended to effectively combat light surface ships, submarines, and aircraft. As you can see, the general it's 135 meters, a little bit longer. Let's see, whatever. Detection was base is 8.4 kilometers, and you can see it's built down to 6.5. The max speed is 39, but the player is built for 41. Acceleration is okay. Standard for Destroyer, about 19 to 20 seconds from full to 90% full speed. Turning radius, 740 meters. The guns, it's 4 128 millimeter dual barrel guns. So it's got another set of those 128 millimeters I like on the Z-52. The damage on it is decent. It's about the same. Reload is 4.1 base, so you can get it down to the player's about 3 seconds-ish, so it's similar to the Z-52. It's still the 32 mil pen, and I believe it does have a funny button. I'm not really sure, but no, actually the gimmick is the 7-kilometer hydro, I believe. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's basically an enhanced version of Z-52, where you, instead of this 6-kilometer hydro, you have 7-kilometer hydro. So now you're kind of having that small-in kind of radar, because the small-in radar is 7.5. So now we kind of have a hydro, like a long-lasting radar that goes out to 7, which is freaking darn scary. So boom, as soon as you get detected, you pop it, and you're already inside that 7. So my thoughts of that is that, man, this can be definitely busted and overpowered, but it can be countered. With anything in World Warships or any kind of tactics, it can be countered with either radar, a 7-kilometer radar, or whatever. Yeah, 7.5-kilometer radar from a Spalling can counter it. So, yeah, you just got to figure out how it works. Now, Yamagiri, dude, he's already perma-spotted by this 7-kilometer hydro. So, he, as you can see, he's already been popping that radar. This Yamagiri, whether he smokes up or not, is full detected. So, it's not going to do him much. And look, we're just going to take advantage of this moment right here. Fast-firing Halland guns. Check out my Halland video. I mean, Halland is very, very powerful with the lead mod. And, man, yeah, we're just going to take that kill right there. Way to go. Thank you, Z-57. Right there, power of Z-57 right there, popping his hydro. And I believe he did pop it, right? Let me see if he did. If I can scroll this thing up. It did not say he popped it. I think he was just spotted. That's wild. So had he popped it, that Yamagiri would have been perma-spotted either way. I believe Z-57 is also spotted. I'm sorry, Jaeger is also spotted by the Z-57. Notice that the Z-57 is spotting at Jaeger. Let me actually move the camera over there to the Z-57 so we can pay more attention to him. There it is. There is Z-57 right there. Take a look at her beauty right there. Yeah, it's 4 sets of those guns that are almost like secondary guns on the German line. So freaking darn powerful. It's got smoke as well, so not bad, not bad. It's very nice. The gun turret swing, I can see are very, very good for what they need to do. And you can see he's just basically egressing the area, so not bad. And say, man, I like the look of this ship. Not bad. I can't wait to play it, though. So it's got the 2 sets of torpedoes right there, and they go out to 12.5, a lot better. 12.5 is not bad. I like it. And you notice he's supporting us in the Halland right there. I like it. Good destroyer teamwork. Like I said, I've always been pairing up with another destroyer player and kind of, playing together and working as a wolf pack and seeing if it works out as well, right? So there is the Z-57 working with us in conjunction right there. Not bad, not bad. Very nice. And I like it. I mean, I think that the power of a 7-kilometer hydro might be game-changing. It might be devastating for a lot of people that don't have it out there, but it's going to be very interesting of how the gameplay. Again, it's always a counter to something. And, man, if you're having 2 destroyers like this working together with a 7-kilometer hydro, it's going to be very, very darn powerful. So let's take a look at how we're going to handle this. We got the Ager right there. We got Ohio. Look at that. His 12-kilometer torpedoes are going out there in the distance. And they can go out and reach anybody. 5 sets right there. They reach, it's about the same detection ability of the Z-52, 1.7 detect, so not bad. Not like our Halland torpedoes have a 7.5 reaction time. So we're going to kind of wait. Let me take a look at, okay, Z-57's out of the picture now. We're going to go take a look at our shots right here. I'm just kind of gauging where this Ager is going to go. Let's see. I'm just using that protective reticle. See, notice I never aim at the reticle right on the motor because they're always changing. So whatever you're shooting on that reticle, he's going to change in the next second or a minute or whatever. So I'm kind of waiting for him to turn back out here to his left. He's probably going to take this egress. So that's what I'm assuming he's going to do. He's going to turn to the left. And let's see. Yep. Once I see this starts ticking to the right, like I'm just watching, just waiting. This is just torpedo tactics I've been learning over the years here. It's all about where is he going to be. So now he's turning. He's committing to that turn. So I'm going to lead and shoot in front of that reticle and fire at him to get him distracted. So that's 2 tactics right there. Shoot where he's going to be, which is in front. And as he's going to accelerate and speed up, that's where the torpedoes will be. And then I'm going to shoot to cause him to be distracted and not really think about it. Hopefully he doesn't have his hydro up because he would have seen these long time ago, but he didn't. It's too late for him right there. And right off the bat, boom, like that slammed right into his hull. Second kill, splash 2 right there with a devastating strike on the Ager. Ager? I can't remember. I don't know how to pronounce that. All right, Ohio is pushing in right now with those secondary. Man, those secondaries are very, very punishing. You cannot sit and sustain that much devastation from the secondaries. American secondaries on the Halland are really powerful against the destroyers. And right now we're taking up enough damage that we need to heal up. And again, I like the Halland because we've got that nice super heal now, so that it can really bring back all the damage we just took right there. Very hard to kill the Halland nowadays. So now that, oh dang, Ohio got blasted by the John Bart right there. And that is pretty much how that works right there. We're going to go ahead and run up to Charlie Cap, and I think that's pretty much it. Z-57 has pretty much dominated his entire area with the 7-kilometer hydro again. Again, that's just the initial looks. It's not too cosmic, the Z-57, I think, in my personal opinion. Again, I think it's just the gimmick of the 7-kilometer hydro, the same 4 sets of those 128-millimeter guns. I pen 32 mil, so if you build for the guns, it can be very, very powerful. I do like it. I can't wait for it to come out. I definitely will recommend it, just based on the initial gameplay of it and what it looks like. Nothing else too cosmic about it, nothing else to talk about. Other than that, I don't see any other gimmicks on it. I don't think it has the funny button or anything like that, as of right now that I know of. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm looking at the stats right here. I don't see anything other than that 7-kilometer hydro thing. Let's see. Notice I'm looking at the corrective reticle. It is trending to the rear, so he's in reverse. So I'm gonna shoot to where he's gonna be in the reverse. And again, we're gonna distract him as well with our guns. The game is pretty much over, so I can absorb the next shot right here, especially if my heels coming out cooldown. There's his first shot right there. We slow down as much, and ooh, wow, that first shot right off our hull takes a lot of damage off of it, but it's okay. His reload will be sufficient enough to last for the 90-kilometer torpedo speed, and boom, there he goes. Splash 3. Taking out the Republic right there, and that is the game, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, let me know what your thoughts on our Z-57 or even the Halland in the background here. I hope you enjoy that footage right there. Just the devastating strikes that the Halland can do in conjunction with a Z-57, and man, oh man, are these things freaking powerful. All right, let's take a look at the final stats here. 110,000 damage on the Halland, my gosh. Right there, let's see how the Z-57 did. So yeah, he was up there. I'm telling you, the Z-57 is a dominating force. That way, if you play for it right, you can definitely be in the top of the team right there. But overall, my impressions on it, the Z-52, Z-57, very, very strong. I like the style of gameplay it is. A little bit more passive-aggressive, but again, you got to adjust to what the meta is lately going on. So as always, like, subscribe, button below. Appreciate all the supporters of the channel. If you see me out there, say hello. And until next time, I hope you guys are staying safe. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.